Alright boys, I got a little bit overconfident. I thought Jack had clapped Sukune, I thought the sumo pack was smoked dry, but sadly it is not. The fight continues with Sukune getting a little buff, whether this be a mental amp or he was holding back prior in the fight. Whatever it is, he is now more comparable to current Jack. However, we did learn a few more things in chapter 118, more so referring to where Jack currently sits in comparison to characters like Yujiro and his brother Baki, and I'll be going over and explaining all that throughout today's video. Also take note, I have no idea when chapter 119 will be released. I saw a post on the Baki subreddit talking about it being released in March. Again, Reddit, not very trustworthy, so who knows, it will come out whenever it comes out. If you're new to this channel and enjoy Baki content, make sure to subscribe and make regular Baki videos on this channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. Let me know your thoughts of the chapter or just the fight as a whole down below. Now, let's get into it. So we get a reminder after Jack was able to drop Sukune that his base has always been striking. If you've read early Baki, you've seen the Maximum Tournament, this is pretty much known. Jack is a pit fighter, that's what his origin pretty much is, with the likes of Katsumi and Baki praising his striking, saying it hasn't gotten rusty at all, considering he's gone down the whole, way of the biting path. They were maybe thinking he'd neglected striking, but last chapter and these comments have pretty much clarified that Jack is still an absolute beast when it comes to striking. And we even saw this in his Motobe fight where, yes, Jack got clapped by Motobe in the Musashi arc, but my personal belief, if you break down the fight, he did do a lot better than a lot of people really think, considering the amount of damage he actually did to him and how deadly his striking really was. But we had the likes of Gaia asking Motobe for his input. As you know, Gaia is the student of Motobe. And we have Doppo asking Goki for some of his input. While at the same time, we have Doppo kind of getting shit on a little bit. He talks about how is this all the resolve Ancient Sumo has and that he would go down like this, being disappointed. Where Goki just laughs at him, and then we get this pretty badass panel of Motobe and Goki saying, "No, the fight's just getting started." So again, this reminding us for like a millionth time that Doppo Orochi is still inferior to the likes of Goki. Feels bad to my dude. But I will be making my How Strong is Doppo Orochi video shortly. And a lot of people are very confused on how strong current Doppo is. In a brief outline of what I'm going to be explaining and revealing is that current Doppo is in fact the strongest Doppo we've ever seen. But he's still, as we see here, kind of inferior to the likes of Goki, which is, pretty funny. But yeah, they talk about how the fight's just getting started, and then the next panel we see Sukune, he's back on his feet, and Jack throwing a kick, which lands directly on Sukune. But this is where we have the downfall of Jack, or a good understanding of where Jack currently sits in comparison to the likes of Yujiro and Baki. So Sukune is able to fully tank that single hit. Like, no damage. We see like steam coming off him is completely fine. We see Jack actually triggered by this. Katsumi says you can knock him down if you tear off a series of hits, as we saw last chapter, then Baki following up. But single hits he can see coming, he will fully tank. And that is the power of Ancient Sumo. So now I'm going to talk about the comparison. So when Sukune had his fight against Baki, Baki was able to rock Sukune with this kick. Yes, it could be argued that he was able to catch him off guard with this kick. That's why I was able to rock him, considering Baki's statement in this chapter. But again, was able to rock him with a single kick. And then with the likes of Yujiro severely rocked him with a punch that sent him flying. So if you use this, you can say Jack is still very clearly being portrayed as inferior to the likes of Baki and Yujiro. But another thing you can consider is Sukune, after taking those 2 L's and just how Baki works, has been getting stronger throughout the arc. He's been training most likely. So this Sukune is the strongest we've seen in this arc. That could be a reason to explain it. Or maybe he's been more so suppressed through the whole arc, as we haven't really seen him go all out. And we do get like a training flashback for one of the first times of him during this chapter as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the whole comparison and some stuff I saw there. With this making everyone watching likes of Motobe Baki that Ancient Sumo is a force to be reckoned with. So considering Baki's surprised attitude in this situation, it does kind of make me think that this is a different situation compared to Baki rocking Sukune. That he isn't playing around, he's super serious and unleashing his full power potentially. But from there in the chapter we have Sukune mentioning that this isn't the first time of him facing a giant opponent. Then we get a flashback to the Sumo Temple where we learn that Sukune can use Baki's imagination like training ability, where he faced pretty much a sumo wrestler. It looks like him, so like a imagination version of himself who weighs 250 kilograms in every direction, and he would, you know, train with this imagination. Or you could say facing an invincible enemy perfect in every way. That's his view of this imagination, and that's how he trained. But then we get some hype for the likes of Jack, and that Sukune says that he overlooked something. If he knew that monsters like Jack existed, he should have had the training imagination biting him with 2,500 kilograms of force, not 250 kilograms in every direction. So Jack is getting that respect from Sukune, which is, you know, great to see. But we see both of them clashing. They seem to be around equal when it comes to striking at this point. But another thing to remember, Jack could have easily more so focused on his body and probably dominated Sukune if he wanted to. But it seems like they're both having an all-out brawl at this point, with the final panel saying the climax seems to draw near. So with that, the fight could potentially end whenever chapter 119 comes out. Of course, I still think Jack's going to win. I'm hoping he wins. I'm praying he wins. Please, Jack bros, we need to unite and, you know, support him to acquire this victory over the sumo trash. But yeah, pretty interesting stuff. Again, unfortunate that it didn't end, but one thing that could be pretty hype is the chance of Jack still pulling out his demon back or something demon related to actually finish Sukune. Maybe that's why we're taking a while for the next chapter to come out. Itadaki is, you know, on the grind, making Jack's demon reveal super hype. That's what I'm praying for. That would be very cool. If that's the reason the fight has been prolonged by a few chapters, I will not complain whatsoever unless Jack actually does lose this, which will be, you know, very sad times. But yeah, that should be everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. As always, check out all the other stuff in the description. Especially if you're a Baki fan, make sure to join the Discord. Links will be in the Discord whenever the chapter drops, including the Raw. Hopefully it comes sooner rather than later. And yeah, let me know down below whether you think Jack's still going to win. Do you think Sukune will get that tragic, depressing comeback and actually defeat him, however he does it? But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Shout out to these absolute mad lads who support the channel via the Patreon. And yep, that's it guys. Peace.